Alright guys, today I'm going to be going through how I made these animations in DaVinci Resolve, and we're going to start off with the helicopter one right here, and this is the first scene. I'm kind of just going to be going through the process, not really the process, but how you can make this yourself, or how I actually made it. So let's start off with the first layer, which is basically just the background. So let's see what it is. Yeah, it's just basic, simple like background gradient using the background node. You can see that it's just a background, and then I put in like this vignette using like a ellipse, and so I can use a different color. Boom. And then I put another ellipse on with this and having the soft edge pretty high, and there we go. Put a grain thing on it. I'm pretty sure it's from Reactor, but yeah, this is the grain thing, and yeah, this is what we got. After that, we went ahead and added this blender animation to it, and for some reason it's like glitching out. I don't know why. Okay, yeah, here it is. Here's a blender animation. But basically, the reason why it's 2 layers is because the first layer is actually transparent blender animation. And the reason why I have 2 layers is because you can't just add the transparent one, because when you render out in Blender, the bloom actually gets cut off if you have a transparent thing. So you see how it would be like a little bit of red radiating from here. It's actually not there. So the lightning looks really weird as well. So we just render it out transparently, and then make the gain down. I mean, you can put it all the way down to 0, but it doesn't really matter. And then on the second layer of the animation from Blender, it's just a black background, but this one isn't transparent, so we can't just have this background only. So we basically just take this one with the bloom and everything. You see how the red is like radiating here, and then we can just put that on top using the add composite feature. Alright, boom. And then after that, the final thing I added to this was just a whole bunch of different, like, basically just a CC, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, so first off, it starts off with this, and then a chromatic aberration. This is a plugin, but yeah, and then a grain, and then a slight look. I mean, honestly, you don't even need this. A vignette, a flicker, and then like another vignette I made by myself. I don't even know why I added 2 vignettes, but it works out. And it looks pretty dramatic, so yeah, I actually like that. And honestly, this chromatic aberration, you can really make this with like a zoom blur, maybe like a zoom blur. Hold on, let me see if I can actually just recreate this chromatic aberration. Yeah, xfchromafuse. This is like a plugin from Reactor you can get for free, and basically you can just make this. You can move around you can make chromatic aberration like so. And yeah, it looks pretty similar to this, but honestly, you're not gonna get exactly there without plugins. But this is what the first one looks like without the CC on it, and it's still pretty decent. And also, you guys can see these text animations. It's kind of just yeah, it just fades on. Actually, I'll show you. It just fades on, and then I just made it zoom up actually here. I don't even think I made it. Yeah, I didn't even do it in Fusion. I just faded it up just like that. Font Cure expanded. Get that from defont.com or something like that, and there you go. That's how you get that scene. Next one is this like little match cut right here. I don't know if that's what it's called. I'm pretty sure it is called match cut, but basically it's just a whole bunch of different images. I just went on Google, just downloaded all of them, and then I lined it up to the same spot. I mean, I tried to line it up. It kind of worked, kind of didn't, but also in between we got this little flare right here, and I'll be going over the captions at the end. And we got this flare thing set to add, and boom. Next, yeah, that's how you get to this flicker right here. Now, on the top of it, I think I literally just added the same exact, like, okay, yeah, this one's different, but it's slightly different. So I basically just added these effects on it that make the thing look like it's dramatic. I don't know how, it just looks better when you add all those random effects to it. But make sure you're including vignettes, and like, I also added a warp fisheye to make the images fill up the whole screen. You can actually do that with the dent node as well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can actually, I think I can actually just do it with dent here, hold on. And then, yeah, XF, up the size up. Okay, anyways, next one, honestly, it's pretty simple. I can show you guys how to do that highlight effect. So basically what you do is, actually, I don't know if I did it in here. Yeah, I did, okay. So here's the Wikipedia screenshot, and basically, what you do is you get a mask of where you actually want the thing is using a polygon node where you actually want the text is. So let's go ahead and create a polygon. And then let's just circle the text that we want. Boom. Doesn't really matter. Okay, and then you just connect that to a background. And then make that background yellow. Okay, I'll try to like zoom it in for you guys. And then make the background yellow. And then basically, now when you plug it in here, and you put that in the viewer, see, like, you'll have this. Okay, hold on. Change this to darker color. And then, boom. It'll work. I think it's like different for whether it's a dark mode or a light mode article, but it works. And it looks like it's a highlight, so that's pretty good. I added a grain modifier to it, and then it looks like that. Boom. And then we'll add a rectangle and make it slide in. It's just another mask, and then it slides in and it reveals the highlight. Alright, next one. We got this right here. Honestly, this one's pretty simple once you already have the blender animations, which is the most hard part for this. But basically, it's just the background footage. Put some vignette and a color corrector on it. And then if I go up here, we'll see that I have the animation like that with the 2 layers. And then I have a color correction right here. Again, same thing that we used before. Just makes it look a lot better. Here's what the actual animation would look like before it. And here's what it looked like after. It looks a lot better to me. I don't know. Anyways, there's a flash between that. There's another film burn. I might add some links to like some assets you guys can use for that. Oh wait, did I delete some of the media that goes with this? Okay, hold on. I think it's glitched, but basically it's the same thing. Except I transitioned in like a little gradient background. And I don't know why it's saying media offline. There's no media offline, but anyways, next one. It's just this slide text preset. And I'll actually show you guys how to make this. It's the same CC over some stock footage of like the background, just like a factory or something. I'll actually show you guys how to make this text preset. So drag in a text plus and go into the Fusion page. And then let's just do text blah. Okay. Put that in the second viewer. Press enter. And that text. Alright, now let's up the size a little bit. And just for demonstration, this is what's going to be. And then let's do follower. Okay. And then, yeah, so right click the text box, do follower. It's on there. And then go into the modifiers thing. Click this thing right here. Go to the first frame. Select that first key thing. And then make this 1, by the way. Delay 1. Then go to the shading, select the first text, and then change the rotation, change whatever you want. So for me, I'm going to do the rotation. And then we're going to keyframe the Z one. And we're going to make it like this. Actually, I think in this text animation I had it like this. But make it like this. And then go to the end of the video and make it like more actually than you would think, because it's like sliding over time. And then go to the spline and make this like that, and then it'll be like this. As time goes on, all the text is going to slowly add, and then you guys can see how this will work, how the followers work. They kind of just do the first animation and apply it to the next one as time goes on. So for the transforms, you're gonna keyframe the offset position. It's gonna open up the second window, but you don't actually need to worry about that. You go back down to here, go back to the position, and then keyframe it, and you can move it around and make it work how you want it to actually like do the animation. So for me, I want it to start like this, and then end in the middle. So let's go back to 0.5. Boom. So now it's going to slowly drag all the text to the middle, and at the bottom you want it to actually have 0 opacity, so keyframe the opacity at 0. Go a couple frames in, keyframe the opacity at 1, and boom. You guys can just see how these animations are coming together. And honestly, we're just going to go here quick, turn down the ease out to 0, turn up the ease in, and quickly we'd have this animation right here. And this is basically how I made this text preset. And also, yeah, you can just type in whatever you want. It still works. This is how followers work. And then also, I'm pretty sure, yeah, you can change it from words. You can change it from characters to words. So let's see what it looks like with words. Hold on, let me just, okay, let's see. This is just a word thing, alright? But it's going to go like word by word instead of just characters. Oh yeah, what else did I add to the text? Basically just another glow. You guys can see this rimlight macro. I'll have it in the description. I couldn't find the original source of it, but yeah, it's just a quick rimlight macro. I'll leave a link to the guy who made it, I think. So yeah. And then drop shadow, like this. Xglow, and it looks pretty good. Make sure you keep it dark color on the text. Rimlight color can be like whatever color you want, and then the glow. Next scenes, yeah, just stock footage with a color correction on it. Add a little click noise, make it seem like you did something insane. Next one. This scene is actually what took a long time, and there's a lot of different things that go into this one, but type of thing going on here. Same background, copy pasted. Move that to the side. This is the part that may be a little confusing, but set up like a little animation with the text. This one isn't even using followers, it's using this right on bar right here, so keyframe at the start and make it right on fully at the end of the keyframes. And it's typing it out. It pretty much looks like it's typing it out. And yeah. Anyways, after that text, oh yeah, also in the shading of the text, you guys may not know this, but there's a way to do gradient text shading. So you go from the text to shading, and you change it from, it's going to look like this. Change it from solid to gradient on the first one, and yeah, it'll look like a gradient. You can also do a whole bunch of other stuff with these. There's other elements. You can add like an outline, border, stuff like that. But yeah, next one. Next thing we did, duplicated it. Make sure you make a duplicate. This is what's going to lag your PC, by the way. Duplicate node is going to lag your PC a lot. But this is what the settings are. And make sure you change the center. There's no jitter on this one. So, yeah. Next thing. I don't even know why I added a vignette here. Oh, yeah. It just circles this. I think I made the size. Yeah, go in. Time goes on to highlight the center of the screen. Next thing we added was these duplicated helicopters. The first thing you do is set up a helicopter. This is just image taken from one of the renders. Yeah, that's just what it is. Anyways, put that into, oh yeah, then you add a bitmap, and then you put that bitmap into an emitter, P emitter, okay, and a P render. And basically you just mess around with these color settings, or these particle settings. And these are my settings that I have right here. A lot of them don't actually that matter too much. Like, okay, these matter. Spin. I made it spin slightly. You guys might be able to see. They do actually spin slightly instead of just staying still. And then they sort of pop out as this thing expands, but particles, they look pretty cool. One thing I also did, style, you can go to color over life and just make a gradient so that it looks like it's like fading out over time, and the particles spawn in. Yeah. And then region settings, here they are. Sphere, size, like that. And here's the original settings again. Then xglow on the particles. It doesn't really matter too much, but there we go. Then the scene looked like this. So it's saying there's 17,000 produced, so I just made it look like there's a lot of helicopters being produced, and as well as the text. Next thing we added, I'm pretty sure this is just a helicopter, yeah. There we go, helicopter model. Rim light, another rim light, make sure it looks like it's cool. I don't know, it looks cool when you add a rim light. And then I made a little transformer animation for it, so that it pops up, like so. And the trick is you actually make the merge, blend it in like right here before the animation started, and after it's going from 0 blend to 100, so you guys can see in the final animation that it just pops up like that and looks pretty good. And then add a grain. Dude, you gotta spam grain sometimes, it just looks better. when you add a grain to it. And then you might be wondering why it looks insane after I left the Fusion page, but that's because I added this color correction right here. Basically same one we've been using the whole time. And I'm pretty sure, yep, there's a zoom right here. And this adjustment layer, there's a transform. You could really put this in the main one. You can put this right here if you wanted to, but it doesn't really matter. But basically it just zooms in.
1,000 unit.
The graph actually looks like this. So it just zooms in, and then when it goes to the next scene, it's gonna start zooming in even more. So it transitions to the next scene. Yeah, on the first clip, zooms in. This one it really quickly zooms in from far away with the mirror. If you guys are wondering this stock footage, yeah, you could just use stock footage, but here's the original stock footage. Or not this one, this is just the background stock footage. But this is the stock footage. I could have just used this, but I decided to like change it up a little bit. I don't know if it actually looks better, but it looks like this after I did all that. Yeah, that scene is pretty simple. This one, same thing with the text. This one's mostly just a blender animation, which we'll go through after. Same background, the grain. Honestly, there's not much else besides this little thing right here, side beam. And this is just a CC again. Flash transition. Spam those. I don't even know why. They don't even look good. But next thing, 2 helicopters, 2 images. Same thing at the start, but it's only 2 images instead. This is what you guys can actually learn from here. Okay, this is kind of a messy node tree. Hold on, let me fix this real quick. Anyways, here's what it looks like. Basically, I just made a background, attached what I needed to it, like that, like so. And then you take that massive thing, basically make the background, you can go to the image settings and mess with it, turn off auto resolution, make it very large so you can like zoom around the scene. But I didn't really need to because I made it 2560 by 1440 instead of the original, the regular thing, which is 1440 by 2560. So when you merge it over, you have something that looks like this, right? So it's like zoomed in and it'll look, you can zoom around the image, and then because we made it like this and not in like Photoshop, we can move around these elements. And yeah, boom, like that. So basically, the back and the merge, here's the keyframes, here's what it looks like. Go here, make it like zoom around. Select all these keyframe points, smooth them out, and yeah, it'll work. The text was just made using Akira and then using a glow. This was basically just a helicopter thing again, except I added an animation on the merge that make it like zoom up and down, just like that. And yeah, next one. Okay, so this one's actually pretty decent. This is this fusion composition. This is just the background gradient. Okay, and we have this adjustment clip right here, which is where the actual thing is. I don't know why I made the globe by myself. I could have just got stock footage, but basically I got this globe image. I was like, wait, I can make this a 3D. So I made it. I messed around with the colors as well before I went to like a shaped 3D node, which basically turned it into like this by using the angle and messing around with this stuff right here. Make the shape sphere, then the latitude, like that. Messing around with the latitude. Honestly, this node is pretty useful if you guys want to bend 3D objects in DaVinci Resolve. This is the node you use pretty much. I don't know why it didn't work on top and bottom, but that wasn't part of the animation, so it didn't even matter. So yeah. Anyways, we got the camera right here. The animation itself, I don't even think you really need a camera, honestly. You can just do that. And then I keyframe the latitude going up and down, so the shape just looks like it's expanding out. Latitude, keyframe like this. Go to the end, keyframe like that. Boom. And then I did add a transform that made it like zoom in a little bit. And then, okay, actually, this is what it looks like after the render, right? So I added in like an xglow. And then I added this little glow thing to the background. This looks pretty good. It's like a drop shadow, but it's like a manual drop shadow for some reason. But anyways, it just looks like it's glowing from the background. And then We got a rimlight. Another rimlight macro. Boom. Looks like that. Next thing. Okay, next scene. This is pretty much what we've done before. What you guys probably already know how to do. If you already have the images for the helicopter, this one's pretty simple. Slide text as well. Next one. And the last parts of it are just stock footage. They're literally just stock footage, I'm pretty sure. Alright, I'm gonna go through the captions as well. So yeah, here's how you do the captions. Basically, it's just a slide up animation, and I did it through autosubs, and I'll link a video in the description on how to use autosubs. But yeah, this text animation, I made it. It's pretty simple. Anyways, let me show you guys the blender. I'm gonna be honest, in my blender project, I kind of just messed with it as I went. So I might not have like the thing, I might not be able to like show you every single scene, but I'll tell you like basically what I did. The thing I'm gonna show you guys is how I made this fly up animation, because that's the only one I have left, honestly. Because I kind of just, this is the last animation I made. So I kind of just went through and deleted the old stuff and put in the new stuff and made the animation. But basically, I found this helicopter model from Sketchfab. I'll show you guys Sketchfab. But actually, okay, yeah, I just went on Sketchfab, found 2 models of the helicopter, and downloaded those, imported them, pretty simple. And then I made this little camera animation that went up and down for this one. Honestly, if you learn like the basics of Blender, these animations are pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, honestly, I'm not going to teach you how to use Blender here, because that would take forever, even though this tutorial is already taking forever. But basically, how you guys make the backgrounds is the environment. Yep, right here. It's just a blank image, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why it says color untitled. It's just a blank image. Turn on the textures, turn off transparency. That's how you turn off transparency, by the way. Just search it up on this one right here, on the render. Turn it off. See what it looks like. Just a black background. And the lighting itself is pretty simple as well. I just added a backlighting, and this is done in Eevee. And that's pretty much how I did most of these Blender animations.
The MIL-ME-8 is a medium twin-turbine helicopter, originally designed by the TSAJ in the 1960s and introduced into the Soviet Air Force in 1968. The Mi-8 is the world's most produced helicopter, with over 17,000 units used by over 50 countries. As of 2015, when combined with the related MIL-ME-17, the 2 helicopters are the 3rd most common operational military aircraft in the world. The Mi-8 family of helicopters became the main Soviet and later Russian helicopter, covering a large range of roles in both peacetime and wartime.